So I was talking about I did a jiu-jitsu seminar at 5150 martial arts this weekend, right? And
First of all, I want to say I hear unbelievable things about your seminars. The way that we're talking to Christos about it, and Antonio, the way that you're able to communicate what you're seeing, very David Adib like. It's very, very,
yeah,
very
well,
good.
I'm fortunate that I came up under a special guy, uh, where in my jiu-jitsu I learned systems, I learned principles, I learned concepts, right? And what
Yeah.
I was kind of explaining was, and because these guys have, Scotty trains with David as well. So, you'd compare our jiu-jitsu to other people, even guys who you'd think would be great, UFC fighters, great jiu-jitsu. Their jiu-jitsu kind of stinks compared to ours because our jiu-jitsu isn't, all right, here's how you do an Americana, here's how you do a Kimura, here's how you do this, now go armbar, now go do them, right? So take this for an example, and I'm going to relate this back to life as well. Let's say you were late. You fucked up on something. Now we're in the mount, right? I'm mounted. I'm bottom mount. All right? Do I go, shit, I'm mounted. It's over. You know what I mean? No, I do the next best thing. So what's the next best thing I could do? All right, I probably got to bump, make the guy off balance. I could shrimp. You know what I mean? There's a next best step. And then and that path will lead me, if I follow the principles, that will lead me back to a good place. I could be in a bad spot. They could be on my back, which is probably the worst spot. All right, I got to put my back on the ground, use the floor to scrape them off, turn and face, create something different to create, protect my neck first. So like the same example, if someone has a guillotine, if their skin is touching your neck skin, that doesn't mean I need to try and do a Kimura there? Fuck no. I need to address the issue at hand, right? And do the next best thing. I need to take this hand off, that off my neck, and then I can start working to something else, right? So I think that it also arms you with ways that, like, all right, anytime in life something bad happened, you let's say you lose your house or you lose your job, someone you get broken up with. All right, what's the next best thing I could do? I don't need to fall apart because it's not over. The fight's not lost. I just need to get back. I just need to stick with follow the principles, follow the concepts, and do the next best thing. So that's what I think.
That's really smart.
Yes, that's how I relate that, like, jiu-jitsu to life. But also, I want to, how would you relate that to what you're saying? What's the next best step that one could do to
Well, the first thing is identifying, right, that it's not over, right? There's people that they feel very panicked in the moment and they're overwhelmed by the anxiety of, oh my God, right? What's going on? There's people that, like, I've got a friend of mine, he's got a lump. He keeps talking about this lump in his neck. And I'm like, bro, you got to go to the doctor. He's like, what's the doctor going to do? I'm like, the doctor's going to get rid of the lump, man. But I also know the guy well enough to know that he doesn't want to go to the doctor because he's terrified that the lump might mean something more. Right. So he's kind of just hoping and praying it goes away. He's not being proactive in the recovery. Because by acknowledging that, by him going to the doctor is acknowledging that this is a problem. And then it's almost like Schrodinger's lump, right? If I just ignore it, maybe it's not something I need to worry about.
Right.
It's there, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the guy, like you said, somebody takes your back and it's like, oh, well, I can trick them. I can get the.
Yeah, I can't ignore that they're on my back. I have to address, all right, they're on my back. This isn't good, but I can make this better. There's steps I can take to make shit better.
There's also, Mick, that's the fighting spirit. There's also people, and you've rolled with these people. You take their back,
they fall apart.
They're looking for a reason
to
tap out because then they think they'll be able to start over and in a more advantageous position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the real world.
But that is the real world for a lot of these guys. All right, tap, tap, tap. Now I'll go behind
What's that, like bankruptcy?
Well, no, it's more like I'm giving up my personal agency to go. I'm going to follow these guys, whatever they say. I'm going to vote blue no matter who. I'm MAGA through and through, whatever. I've given up my personal ability to have an opinion on this. It's too big for me. I'm picking a team. Whichever team appears more powerful, whichever side looks like it's going to be the winner, that's who I'm following.
Really?
That's what's happening here.
To what benefit? Just to be a winner on the winning team?
Yeah, because these people...
It's like just be a bandwagon fan?
it's more than a bandwagon fan, man. It's like it's self-preservation. You got to remember,
But
man.
how are they looking out for you?
The Nazis almost took over the world. The Nazis took over Europe for 10 years. They were less than 10% of the German population. The Nazi Party was less than 10% of the German population. The Bolsheviks were less than 3% of the Russian population. If you come off as strong and willing, so many people are just like, bro, whatever. Go ahead, go take it. Yeah, let's. Everybody in Russia wasn't a communist after the country became communist. It took years and years and years for people to come to the realization, like, dude, this sucks. This sucks, man. And by then, it's too late, right? Then everybody in Germany wasn't a Nazi. They were just like, dude, maybe I can keep my head down and shut up, and then it won't be me, right? What's happening to those people over there, that sucks. But if I speak up, it's going to happen to me. So I'm just going to shut up. That's happening now.
That sounds like no. That sounds like no balls to me. That sounds like no balls to me. That sounds like no. That sounds like no balls to me.
It is.
That sounds like no balls. I don't.
100% is.
I'm. If you know, I think we talked about this before with our friends. You don't have to be good at fighting, but I gotta know if a fight goes down, you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
I don't need friends. I don't need these ballless friends. I don't need these friends with no ball. Yeah, you don't have to be capable, but you got to be willing.
You got to be willing.
You know what I mean? This shit sounds like no balls. It sounds like people are just they're pushovers. Fine to get pushed over.
But let's also give people the benefit of the doubt here, because we're both single men. We don't have kids. We don't have like trust funds to protect. We don't have legacies to protect. We don't have children to protect. We don't have a wife that needs us. So it's not like, you know, you can be Johnny Big Balls because they really can't do anything to us. That's really gonna hurt us, right? But if you had 3 little kids, they wouldn't kill you. They'd kill your kids. They'd take them from you.
Yeah, we have families. We have families. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. We have families. We have families.
Nick, if they rounded up your family, I got a feeling you'd be a little more amicable to what they say.
No,
if they rounded up your family and they say, Mick, you need to stop talking shit about the government today.
Yeah, I'd probably have to kill them if they rounded up my family.
Well, it's not past the realm of possibility.
All right.